أهلا بكم في قناتي SAT Math 800. Today's lesson is about quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is a type of polynomial where the highest exponent on the variable is 2. The general form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We notice here that the highest exponent is 2. Factoring quadratic equation. We factorize the quadratic equation because factoring allows us to break down a complex equation into simpler expressions. This helps us quickly find the value of x that make the equation true. In many cases, factoring is the fastest and most efficient way to solve quadratic, especially under test conditions. In this lesson, we will walk through this method step by step with plenty of examples to make it clear how to solve by factoring. First, make sure your equation is in standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Second, find the GCF if there is one. If there is general common factor, we will find it before factoring. Factor the quadratic expression into two binomials like x plus b times x plus q. We have to find two binomials as two parentheses. These two factors is to find the solution of the quadratic equation. Use the zero product property. We will equal these two binomial equal 0. So the first parenthesis equals 0 or the second will be 0. From the first parenthesis we get x equal minus b, or from the second we get x equal minus q. Solve for x. These are final answer. When we find the number of x, this is we get answer of x. We solve x. This is example x power 2 plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. We will ask to find two numbers, their multiply to 12 and to add to 7. We will search for two numbers. Their multiplication will be 12 and their addition is 7. The two numbers are 3 and 4. So we will make two binomials times each other equals 0. These two numbers that we find, we will put in these two parentheses. X plus 3 times x plus 4 equals 0. That leads to x equal negative 3 or x equal negative 4. When a equal 1 in the formula, x squared plus bx plus c equals 0, a equal 1, so the coefficient is 1. If I have two numbers b and q such that the sum of the numbers is b, we will have two numbers. The sum of these two numbers is the coefficient of x, is the b, and the product of the two numbers is c, the absolute term. The times their product is c and their sum is b. So minus b and minus q is the solution of the quadratic equation. We'll take an example here. X squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. We will find two numbers where their product equals 6 and their sum equals 5. The two numbers are 2 and 3. Their sum is b and their product is c. So we put these two numbers in parentheses and equal to 0. So the answer will be x plus 3 equals 0. So x equal negative 3 or x equal negative 2. The sum of the solution of quadratic equation in standard form. This is the standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The sum of the two solutions equal minus b over a. Minus b the coefficient of x over the coefficient of x squared. And the product is c over a, the absolute value over the coefficient of x squared. We will take an example. 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 equals 0. The sum of the solution, what is the sum of the solution? The sum of the solution minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of x negative the coefficient of x over the coefficient of x squared. So it's minus 5 over 2. Where is the product? The product is the absolute value over the coefficient of x squared. Factoring perfect square trinomial. A perfect square trinomial is a trinomial that results from squaring a binomial. This is a binomial. When we square the binomial, we get the trinomial. And this is a perfect square. It has a specific pattern that, once recognized, make factoring straightforward. It always has a pattern. لو عرفت الباترن اللي هو شغال بيها اللي هو السكويرد, you will go to the answer straightforward. The general form for perfect square trinomial are: this is the perfect square. There are two kinds of perfect square. This is, we can start from here or start from here. This is the perfect square, and this is the expand of perfect square. When we find ax squared plus 2ab plus b squared equal the first term, the root of the first term, the sign from the second term, and the root of the third term, all the quantity squared. And there is the second kind, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So the root of the first, the sign from the second, and the root from the third, the quantity squared. And if we start from here, a plus b all to the power 2, we get a squared, the first squared, the second squared. We put the sign in the second term, and we multiply 2 times first term times second term. This is the same. We put the sign. To factor a perfect square trinomial, you can follow these steps. Check for perfect square. We have to check first if it's a perfect square or not. Verify that the first and the last term of the trinomial are perfect square. We have to be sure that the first and the third term are perfect square. What is the meaning of perfect square? It has a root. It has a root. When we get a square, the root of a square, it will be a. When we get the root, square root for b squared, it will be b. So a square is a perfect square. Check the middle term. You will check the middle term. The middle term must be twice the product of the square roots. Of course, the middle term will be twice the first times the second في الترينوميال. The sign of the middle term will determine the sign in the factored binomial. Of course, if there is a plus, the second term will be plus. If there is minus, the second term will be minus. Write the factored form. If the middle term is positive, the factored form is a plus b squared. If the middle term is negative, the factored form is a minus b squared. Factoring the difference of two squares. The difference of two squares is a binomial where both terms are perfect square and are separated by a subtraction sign. This definition is a perfect definition for difference between two squares. This must be a perfect square, and this is a perfect square, and the sign must be minus. There is no addition here. It's not allowed to make difference between two squares when it's difference between two squares, so the sign will be minus. A squared minus b squared equal two parentheses a plus b times a minus b. When we this parenthesis a plus b is called a conjugate for the second parenthesis. When we turn plus into minus for the second term, these are conjugate. The difference of two squares follow these steps. Identify perfect squares. Confirm that both terms in binomial are perfect squares. Of course, we have to check if this is have a root and this is have a root, and we should check if the sign is minus. Confirm subtraction. Ensure the operation between the two terms is subtraction. Write the factor form. The factored form will be the product of the sum and the difference of the square roots of the two terms. We will find the square root and this square root. We will put them into parentheses. The first parenthesis will be plus, the second will be minus. This is the difference between two squares. What is a quadratic formula? A quadratic formula, we use it when we can factor quadratic with the ways of factoring. If we try to use factoring with the previous ways, but it just won't work, or no nice numbers fit, in those cases we use the quadratic formula. This is the quadratic formula. We have to memorize it and use it in case if we can't factor with the previous ways. X equal negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What is a, b, and c? These are the coefficient of the quadratic equation. The steps is start with the standard form. This is the standard form for the quadratic equation. Identify a, b, and c for the equation. Plug them into the quadratic formula. We will get a, b, and c from the equation. We will plug these constant in the quadratic formula. Simplify the square root and perform the calculation to find both solutions. When we use quadratic formula, we get two answers from the two symbols plus or minus. The plus or minus symbol means we take two values, one with a plus, we will x equal minus b and use the minus to complete the formula, and the other solution is x equal negative b plus, just plus, complete the formula. The plus or minus symbol means to take two values, one with a plus and one with a minus, in front of the square root. This gives us the two different solutions to the equation. Word problem. A rectangular garden has an area of 48 meters squared. Its length is 4 meters. It's not 4 meters, it's 4 meters more than its width. Find the dimensions. The area is 48 meters square and the length is 4 meters more than the width. Let the width be x. Then the length, which is 4 meters more than the width, when the width equal x, then the length will be x plus 4. The area of a rectangle is product between width and length. So the area x times x plus 4, that's the product between width and length, which equal the area. Then we expand this expression. X squared plus 4x minus 48 equal 0. To get the length and the width, to solve this problem, this dimension, to find these dimensions, we will factor this expression. Now let's factor it. We look for two numbers that multiply to negative 48 and add to 4. As we said before, multiply to negative 48 and add to 4. Those two numbers are 12 and negative 4. So we will factor x plus 12 times x minus 4 equal 0. So we will get x equal negative 12. And this is a refused answer because we are talking about length. Or x equal 4. We will take this answer. Since x equal 4 and this is the width, then the width will equal 4. And the length will equal x plus 4 equal 8 meters. So This is the answer. The width equal 4 meter and the length equal 8 meter. Solve x power 2 minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. We will find two numbers product equal 8, the sum equals negative 6. The two numbers are 2 and 4. Product equal 8 and the sum equal minus 6. The two numbers x minus 4 and x minus 2 will equal 0. So x equal 4 or x equal 2. What about if we forgot the steps of factoring simply like this? We can use the quadratic formula and it will get the two answers. Of course, you can use calculator to get the answer too. If we use the formula, we will get the same answer. So don't be worried to use anyway. X squared minus 10x plus 8 equals 0. If one solution to the given equation can be written as a minus root b, what is the value of a times b? From the equation, we will get a equal 1, b equal negative 10, c equal 8, and we will use the formula. We will use the formula here because we can find two numbers, the product are 8 and their sum equal negative 10. So we will use the formula. We get a, b, and c. We will plug these numbers in the formula. It's negative 10 and there was a negative before, plus or minus root b squared, 10 squared, minus 100 minus 32. It's the product of 4, 1 times c. 4 times 8 times 1. So it's negative 32 over 2a. A is 1. We simplify this to get that x equal 5 plus root 17 and 5 equal minus root 17. We will read the question again. He said that one of the solution is a minus b, and we find that one of the solution here is 5 minus root 17. So we will compare 5 minus root 17 with a minus root b, and this will be one of the answers. So we will say a equal 5 and b equal root 17. He asked for the value of ab, a times b. We get here the value of a and the value of b. The product of ab is 5 root 17. The problem here gives us the numerator of the formula. This is the numerator when the sign is plus, and this is the numerator when the sign is negative. We will put the two given here, and we will divide by 2 for both sides. We will divide the numerator by 2, and the right hand side also we will divide by 2. When we see this left hand side, we find that we can put a without affecting the equation, because a equals 1. So the left hand side become the formula and the right hand side becomes equal 4. This is one of the solutions with plus. This is one of the solution. So one of the solution equals 4, and if we do the same in the other equation minus b, this is another solution, the other solution for the equation, and we divide by 2 for both sides, and we get here the formula. Since a equals 1, we will get the right hand side equal negative 7. So this is the other solution for the quadratic equation. So now we have the two solutions, x equal 4 and x equal negative 7. One of the factors of 6x cubed negative 3x squared minus 3x is ax plus b. What is the value of a plus 5b? Let's break this down step by step. We notice that all of these have common factors. We will factor out. We will factor it out. The factor out is 3x. When we take the factor 3x, the parentheses remain will be 2x squared minus x minus 1. This parentheses can factor another time with 2 brackets, 2x plus 1 and x minus 1. So this expression 3x cubed minus 3x squared minus 3x equals, I got three factors. 3x is the first factor, 2x plus 1 the second factor, and x minus 1 is the third factor. He said in the example, ax plus b, one of the factors. We find 2x plus 1 is similar to ax plus b. So 2x plus a equal ax plus b. We take this factor, make it equal ax plus b as he said in the example. So a equals 2, b equals 1, and he didn't ask for a or b, he asked for a plus 5b, the value of a plus 5b. So we will plug in a and b in this expression to find that a plus 5b equals 7. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression x power 4 minus 18x squared plus 81? We noted that this is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. The first term is perfect square. We can get a root for it. It's x squared. The root of this term is x squared. The root of the 81 is 9. And this is 2 times x squared, the root, and 9, the root. So x squared minus 18x squared, x power 4, sorry, minus 18x squared plus 81 equal x squared minus 9 all squared. This is difference between, this is a perfect square. We notice that inside the parentheses there is a difference between two squares. This is a perfect square. X squared can have a root, 9 can have a root. So x squared minus 9 squared equal x minus 3 times x plus 3. All the quantity squared. So since there is a multiplication, we can put square here and here for the two parentheses. We find that the expression he asked for, he gives me x squared minus 9, the quantity squared. This answer is true. And also he gives me x minus 3 squared times x plus 3 squared, and this is the first answer. So C will be the correct answer to choose, because the two answers are right. This is for our today lesson. Hope you enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.